Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video today, we're going to be taking yet another look at a Bleacher Report article that talks about the idea of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers adding a player right now for an immediate impact, and I'm also going to be giving some guys, in my opinion, that are a part of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers organization already that should be possibly getting more playing time to help make an immediate impact, because I think some changes are needed. But before we talk about that, if you guys look at the bottom of your screen, both winners of the giveaway have been selected. Congratulations to both the winners. I've gone ahead and replied to both their comments back at the giveaway video with instructions on what to do now that they have won the giveaway. If they do not respond in the next couple of days, I will go ahead and select a winner or possibly two more winners from the giveaway video. So let's just see what happens with that, I guess. But let's go ahead and dive into the Bleacher Report article. And it talks about how the Tampa Bay Buccaneers should add Gabe Jackson, guard, right now to their team. It talks about how Cody Mock has struggled for the majority of the season as a run blocker. Talks about how Gabe Jackson has several years of experience at right guard, and he could fill in for Mock, or at least give them another option to turn to. I like Gabe Jackson a lot. I think that he did some really, really good things for the Oakland Raiders back in the day. He is a little bit up there in age. I believe he's 32 years old, something along those lines. So he is definitely a little bit higher up there in regards to his overall age, but I still think Gabe Jackson is an interesting guy that you could possibly add as a depth piece. But as we've talked about before, folks, whenever you look at the starting offensive line, right, bringing in an outside face at this point in the season isn't necessarily going to be something that I think is going to happen, right? The reason I say that is because Cody Mock's already had most of the season starting at right guard. Overall, he's had a pretty up and down job, which is to be expected by a rookie. They've already made one switch with Matt Filer being benched essentially in favor of Aaron Stinney. Would there be another one? I just don't see it happening, but an interesting option nonetheless as a depth piece, so to speak. But I also wanted to talk about some other guys who I feel like should be getting some more playing time, because I was taking a look at some of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers stats and things going on right now, and I was not impressed. First thing was the backup running back situation. You look at Keyshawn Vaughn, Chase Edmonds, Sean Tucker. Those guys just haven't been able to get the job done. One guy that could maybe get more playing time is a guy who's on the practice squad, Patrick Laird. I don't think the Bucs are... They may add an outside running back. That could totally be a possibility, right? They tried to claim Michael Carter. Didn't happen. So much pain. I feel like Michael Carter in this offense would have been so cool to see. But the Bucs were trying to add a guy to their roster. They were at least experimenting with the idea of possibly adding a running back. Could they look inward in terms of an option that could be available in Patrick Laird? I don't know. It's certainly a possibility. Patrick Laird is a veteran in the league. He has been for a handful of years now. He is a guy that you could at least possibly want to see in the mix at backup running back. And I know people are going to say, like, James, it's Patrick Laird, dude. What the heck are you talking about? Guys, you guys know the backup running back situation right now. Why not, right? I mean, why not? Can Patrick Laird really do a worse job than what we've seen from the trio of Keyshawn Vaughn, Chase Edmonds, and Sean Tucker? I mean, Chase Edmonds has done a couple of interesting things, but, I mean, why not give Patrick Laird a chance is kind of my opinion. If he does know the offense, if he does know what he is essentially doing in his role, maybe give him some backup running backs snaps. It could be an interesting situation. It was something that I definitely wanted to throw out there. But after that, I took a look at the wide receiver room. And this is another one that's been a little bit iffy. Like, Trey Palmer's definitely had some good moments this year. Devin Tompkins has had some good moments. Raheem Jarrett had a really nice long, I believe it was like a 41-yard reception, which, fun fact, is the second longest reception by a Buccaneers rookie wide receiver since somebody. I can't remember off the top of my head. Maybe it was Mike Evans. I don't remember. But point being is that these guys have been doing some interesting things, and it has definitely been a bit of a rotation. But one guy I want to see get some more playing time is a guy on the Buccaneers practice squad, sure enough, David Moore. David Moore is a guy that I liked a lot in training camp, in the preseason and whatnot. He was a guy who I thought was for sure going to be making the Bucs 53-man roster. It didn't end up happening. David Moore did end up on the practice squad, though, and I think it's time to maybe give him an opportunity, maybe elevate him to the active roster and just see what he can do. Give him a couple of snaps, see what he can do as a veteran guy. He's only 28 years old, same age as Patrick Laird, interestingly enough. And again, it is kind of that idea of like, look, man, Palmer, Tompkins, Jarrett, they've done some good things for you right now, but if you are going to have such a rotational type of system and just giving a lot of different guys chances, why not give a veteran here a chance? You never know what could happen. David Moore could certainly break out and could be a really cool and interesting story and a big boost to your offense in terms of a third wide receiver who is familiar with Dave Canales and the overall offense of the Bucs and is familiar with this coaching staff, the offensive coaching staff for the Bucs, even more so than the guys who are already present. So I don't know, could be another one of those interesting moves that we could see. Again, something that I would be interested in the Buccaneers doing. After that, you then have the secondary, which I highlighted 3 guys here: Carlton Davis, Jamel Dean, and Ryan Neal. Reason I highlighted those 3 is because, oh buddy, when targeted, Ryan Neal is allowed a passer rating of 158.3, Carlton Davis is allowed 126.1, and Jamel Dean has allowed 104.6. The 3 highest graded defensive backs in terms of passer rating allowed. Ryan Neal's allowed a 96.7 completion percentage, Carlton Davis 69 completion percentage, Jamel Dean 66.7. Point being, the starting members of the Buccaneers secondary have unfortunately not played well this year, and these are all 3 guys who played well last year, just aren't having good years this year. And this is a change that may have to happen by default because Ryan Neal is dealing with an injury, Carlton Davis is dealing with an injury, and Jamel Dean is dealing with an injury. We don't know the severity of those injuries and how long they are going to be out. We already saw Ryan Neal miss last week's game versus the 49ers. We've seen Carlton Davis miss a couple of games this year as well, and I believe Jamel Dean even missed a game this year. So these guys have already missed a little bit of time, but is it time to start giving some other guys snaps, even in the wake of injuries? Much like in the case of the Matt Filer incident, he got hurt. Aaron Stinney came into the mix. He ended up keeping a starting job. Could we see a similar scenario? Well, a few guys I wanted to take a look at who have already been on the team. Firstly, I want to take a look at Christian Izien. I mean, his role is pretty much established as the nickel corner and a little bit of some safety in there as well, but I don't necessarily know if the Buccaneers want to take him away from the nickel. He's played very good in that role. Yes, an 83.3 completion percentage, but a passer rating of 82.6. I feel like Izien has done a pretty decent job, all things considered, for an undrafted rookie free agent, if you guys can see the stats there now. Another guy is Zion McCollum, who's actually playing better than, I'll be honest, I expected. He has started 4 games this year, played in 10, a 52.6 completion percentage allowed, a 74.8 passer rating when targeted. Zion McCollum's done some good things this year, and that may come as a surprise to people. It was a little bit surprising to me, and maybe this does mean that a guy like Zion McCollum should get some more opportunities moving forward. I also take a look at D. Delaney, who so far this year, a 36.8 completion percentage when targeted, a 14.5 passer rating when targeted. I've talked about D. Delaney getting some more opportunities for a couple of weeks now. The Buccaneers have given him some opportunities, but I feel like more should definitely be in there. I want to take a look at his 2023 game logs if we can. Yeah, even during the San Francisco 49ers game, like he played 67% of the snaps versus the Houston Texans. Then he played 59% of the snaps versus the Tennessee Titans, and then 33%. We should bump that up. Like whenever he played in 97% of the snaps versus the Saints, they won 26-9, and he got an interception and a pass deflection. So I want to see more D. Delaney, man. We've talked about it time and time and time again. I think it's time to put that plan into action. Give us more D. Delaney, my man. That's what I want to see. Even if you want to play him at corner. I mean, I think he's better at safety, but play him at corner, play him at safety. Just get D. Delaney out there on the field more. He is a good player for your defense. Think Zion McCollum. Think D. Delaney should get some more playing time in there as well. If you want to look at some other guys that, you know, are options, Derek Pitt has had a couple of moments here and there, but he's been kind of up and down. Don Gardner is on the practice squad. Maybe he's somebody that you could potentially take a look at. Then if you keep on going down the list to some of the other guys on the practice squad, Keaton Isaac is another player that the Bucs could consider. He is on the practice squad, but again, what makes it so difficult is that you're paying Carlton Davis and Jamel Dean a lot of money, right? And you have seen good things from them in the past. So do you really want to permanently bench them or whatever it may be? The answer is probably no. But I do think you could work some of these guys into the rotation a little bit more and just see what they could do. Just to give your defense a little bit of a boost, especially D. Delaney and Zion McCollum. Get those guys in there, man. D. Delaney, get him in there. I've been talking about this all year. We need to see more D. Delaney. In terms of pass rush, things have been interesting, right? Vita Vea still leads the team in sacks with 5.5. Yaya Diaby has been a very pleasant change that we talked about in a separate video. He's got 4 sacks on the year so far. Shaq Barrett is also at 4 as well. Anthony Nelson's coming in at 2. Joe Trine-Shoyinka is at 3. One guy I want to see get more playing time. Also, by the way, Kayvon Merriweather's another guy who could be getting some more playing time at safety. He played a lot of snaps in the Bucs game most recently versus the San Francisco 49ers, so maybe you see more of him moving forward as well. But anyway, going back to it, you take a look. Kayvon Merriweather played a lot of snaps last week. That's one interesting thing. Pass rush, maybe take a look at Marquise Watts. He's a guy that's done some interesting things for the Bucs this year. We talked about him getting some more opportunities versus the 49ers. He got 3 defensive snaps, and I think he's definitely due for more at this point. He's a very interesting, very twitchy, very athletic defensive player at 6'1", 240 pounds. He's a guy that can really get after it, get after the quarterback, and make plays, I think, if you put him out there. So that's another one of those situations where it's like, why not, man? Just put him out there and see what he can do. But folks, there's definitely some changes here that I feel like should be made, must be made in a lot of situations. Like the secondary, you got to figure something out with that. You have to. If it's rotating guys in, like Zion McCollum, like D. Delaney, maybe even putting Christian Izien in a spot, heck, maybe even getting Derek Pitts or Don Gardner out there, go for it. Try it out, especially with the guys dealing with injuries. You have some opportunities to get some young guys out there. Just try to do something to get this team boosted, because if you keep on talking about execution not working time and time again, maybe it's time to try out some different players who can execute, or at least just work them into the rotation. Not even fully bench your high-paid starters, but work some other guys in there. Also, wide receiver, hey, give David Moore a chance, and then at backup running back, I mean, why not Patrick Laird, considering what we've seen from the other backup running backs? I mean, Chase Edmonds is giving you a little bit of something. Maybe it's time to get Patrick Laird in there. I don't know. That's just kind of some thoughts and opinions from me, guys, on some changes I feel like should happen, maybe must happen for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers here moving forward. And I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions about this as well. Who are some guys that you want to see get moved around? Maybe some guys you want to see benched, maybe some guys you want to see play more. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Hope y'all enjoyed. As always, guys, I'll see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.